We are live. So if I press preview, and hopefully if you press preview, because we're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. This is Nick and Stephen waiting to go live. Have you got the button?
I've got the button.
I'm pressing the button.
Let's press the button.
Right. So we've pressed the button, which means that we are going live on Amazon Live. Everything's working, so we can take the card away. Hello, Nick.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Happy Monday. It's as we got
Happy
say,
Monday to you as well.
it's a little bit close today, but we'll be fine.
It is, and the hay fever season as well doesn't help. Hopefully, I've got a new follower. That's good. I have a new follower, Nick Woody's great to join my broadcast. Well, I'm getting all the messages today. Let's hope things are working. I can't see a new follower on Amazon, but
I've got one on Amazon.
All right, okay. I tell you what, though, this has come up rather quickly. I've got the carousel has come through almost immediately.
Hey,
somebody's been working hard.
It doesn't. Sounds like the live streaming gods have been putting in a shift.
Yeah, and we've got Nick is saying thank you for following.
Yep.
And I'll show that on screen. And the link for the Nexigo has already gone to Facebook and to YouTube. So everything is working.
That's amazing.
Spectacularly good. I'm just going to say hello and then we'll know the comments are working as well.
That'll be bad.
I always get the caps key wrong way up. I hate it when people type in upper and lowercase. Does my head in, but that's a personal thing. Okay, so from a hot and sticky England, we say hello to everybody, and of course it's Monday.
And I have to say, Stephen, it's looking like your garden looks like you've got a lovely breeze outside as well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not just a lovely breeze. We have a parasol, and the parasol isn't actually attached at the bottom because it's rusty. So that just lifted about 6 inches into the air a few moments ago, and it's going around like a whirligig. So yeah, we've got a gentle breeze, but we get gusts every so often, and that basically means that we had to put the parasol down. It's the only thing you can do, because you don't want to go out and discover that the parasol's broken in half and the table's knackered as well. Anyway,
no, exactly.
Right, so we say hello to everybody in Amazon. You're watching Stephen and Nick, and the first thing we need to do, because it's Monday, because it's movie quiz day, is to pick a movie quiz. I'm just trying to. That's better.
That's better. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so we need, as usual, a topic. General awards, characters, connections, directors, Disney, Glastonbury, James Bond, matches, quotes, titles, plots, soundtrack, special, Star Wars, and superheroes.
Ooh. What do you reckon?
Shall we go with connections for a change?
Why not? Let's go for that.
All right, so we've got connections, and we just need a year. So movie connections, we're pretty stable on the 80s, aren't we?
I'd say the 80s is probably what we know most of.
Right, okay, so we've got that. So we've got a quiz in place, and we've got my comment coming through. All good. So let's go here, text cell off, and just read out the question. Do you know the actors or actresses that link these 1980s movies? We've got 10 questions, multiple choice. We need your help. If you know the answer, type it on Nick's page or my page.
Yeah, we need all the help we can get.
We do. Which actor or actresses connects these movies? The Morning After, Agnes of God, On Golden Pond. Was it Anne Bancroft, Katharine Hepburn, Jack Lemmon, or Jane Fonda? Nick, whilst we're pondering, I'm just trying to get back to the studio. Do you have something to show us?
Yeah, let's ponder away. And while we're pondering, let me show you this. It's in the carousel, and for a long time, this was, I'll do it without pulling everything off. This was what I was thinking was the best entry-level webcam on the market right now. And actually, I'll tell you what, there's a discount, 40% off. So it's now $47.99. And so for my money, it is still one of the best entry-level webcams that we can buy on the market today. It is made by Nexigo. And the short story behind how I found Nexigo was that I promised my great nephew my Logitech C920, another fantastic webcam. And so I gave it to him. So I needed to go find some new webcams. So I was looking around, and this one just caught my eye for a few very good reasons. I mean, obviously, yeah, like all these webcams, we can just attach them to tripods, or we can mount them on our displays, our Macs, our PCs, our laptops. But what I like about this one, this was my very first camera that could swivel a whole 360 degrees, which was pretty cool. And we could move it around. And that's just really handy because sometimes, you know, if we're just using it for conference calls, or maybe a Zoom meeting or a Teams meetings, or Google Hangouts, then we can just have it sat there and doesn't have to do anything, just point it at us. But if we're moving it around and we wanted to do something like sit it on the extractor fan above the hob, if I was doing that on the cooking, so moving it around, I was getting the perfect angle that I actually wanted. Now, as all these things, when we first get a webcam, we're pretty much upgrading, or hopefully we are upgrading the built-in cameras that come with the Macs, PCs, etc. Not just the cameras, but also the audio. So this has also got a built-in microphone, noise cancelling. So if you've got noisy neighbours, oh my neighbours were so noisy yesterday. Noisy neighbours, kids, cats, dogs, parakeets, you name it. Then a noise cancelling microphone will give you beautiful, crisp audio all the time. Now, as I say, it's normally an upgrade on your built-in camera. This is actually 1080, so it's a high definition camera. It's got a very nice little lens in it. And as you can hear, we've got a little privacy cover as well. So that sticks on, but that works a treat. And it actually comes with two in case you mess them up the first time. So we've got that great little lens, 1080 high definition, but it also comes with some software. So Nexigo provides some software with it. And this is where it really comes into its own, because we can just upload software and we can control the exposure, the white balance, the hue, the contrast, backlighting, all the good stuff that we can use with our cameras. And what I liked about it was that I could then save the settings. So I've got a setting for up here in the office, I've got another setting for downstairs in the kitchen, and I just flip between the two. But the number one reason that I like this so much is that it has got a 3-stage ring light built in. And when we go live streaming, or when we just want to record ourselves, we need light. We want to be seen. If we're going to be on video, we want to be seen and we want to try and look as good as we can. Lighting is so important. If you can see in here, I've got a box light up here, got another ring light there, but I could just switch all those off and actually just live stream or have a conference call with just this ring light on the Nexigo C920E. It is absolutely a cracking little webcam, and for that money, for the 40% off, $47.99, that is giving you a real punchy camera that you've got full control over, and it is an absolute little beauty. I've had it for, gosh, must be about almost a year now, I think, maybe a bit more, and it's absolutely brilliant. I love using it. We flip them around, and sometimes I use one, not the other. But yeah, that one works a treat. And if you're using it as a conference camera, then with everyone else that's going to be sitting there all dark and dingy, their backgrounds won't be working particularly well. With this and the built-in ring light, you're going to look like the boss. And there you go. That's what's not to love about that. So yeah, that's the Nexigo N930E webcam, a steal today at $47.99. It's almost worth having him on just as a backup.
True.
But yeah, great brand, and yeah, it does exactly what it says on the tin and then some. But as we always say, if we always like to download the software that it comes with, and that way you can play around with it. In fact, actually, Stephen, I can quickly just pop it up there. I didn't do it straight away because I wasn't sure I'd actually plugged it in.
Okay.
But now I know I have. Let me just quickly show you guys. I'll just switch it on and then flip my camera. Hopefully this will be seamless.
It is.
Seamless. There you go. What's not to love? And so there you go. It's as you see, great quality, a cracking webcam. So there you go. That's all I can tell you about it.
Okay, and just to reiterate, it's down in the carousel. It is a deal. It's 40% off today, $47.99. Normally it's $79.99. So if you're looking for your first or even your second external camera, Nexigo N930, Nick.
Yeah.
N930p. Okay, let's hide that. So let's put the quiz back center stage so you can all see it. Good, that worked. Okay, so question 1 was, which actor or actress connects these movies? The Morning After, released in 86, Agnes of God in 85, and Golden Pond 81. No, we can say without fear of contradictions, it's not Jack Lemmon. Okay.
Okay, cool. Can be brilliant.
Right.
I'm so glad.
I'm torn between the.
Well, I'll tell you what I thought it was when it first came up. I thought it was Jane Fonda, but I could be miles out.
Okay, acting with her father, with Henry in the Golden Pond. Okay, so for no other reason than that, because some of our links are tenuous, we're going to go with Jane Fonda. Well done, Nick. Brings on to question 2.
Yeah, we're on fire already today. So, which actor or actress connects these movies? One Good Cop, 1991, Batman, 1989, and Beetlejuice, 1988. Is that Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Gina Davis, or Morgan Freeman? One Good Cop, Batman, and Beetlejuice. Which actor or actress connects these movies? If you know, please do pop it in the comments. Well, Stephen, what have you got in the carousel today?
All right. Okay. Now, down in the carousel is the camera you're looking at now, which is another Nexigo, which shows they've gone. Nexigo have now got 15 different cameras, and they range in price from the one that Nick just showed you up to this one. And this today is on deal. Now, we know Amazon Prime days are July 11th and 12th, just over 2 weeks away. And on those 2 days, there will be very special prices. But between now and then, there are deals. And if you're watching us on Amazon Live, we get the special prices whilst we're live that you can take advantage of. Now, the Zoom certified Nexigo N970p is on discount today. It's a deal. It's 26% off. It is normally $189.99, but you can save $50 and get it for $139.99 today. So why? Basically, when I first saw this camera, the thing that blew me away was just the quality of display. This is the best image I've seen on a webcam, bar none. And I've got most of them, as Nick knows, and Nick's got even more. We've got so many cameras between us. But this is the best image, the clearest image, crispest image, because it's got a built-in Sony CMOS sensor, which gives it the 4K. Now, with 4K, you can use it out of the box, you can add it to Camtasia, and you can record locally in 4K, and then upload to Vimeo or YouTube, embed it in your blog, and you're creating content in 4K. Now, I've got to tell you, we're at the beginning of a 4K revolution, because internet speeds are getting faster. Even in the UK, we're getting faster internet speeds. And that means that 4K cameras come into their own. Because in order to broadcast with a 4K camera, you need a 20 megabyte upload. We're getting there. And I dare say that as you're on the east coast of the States, or the west coast even today, that you've already got super fast internet, 900 megabytes upload, 900 megabytes download. This is the camera for you. It is Zoom certified, so it's basically built as a conference camera. And it has built-in AI, as most cameras do these days. And the AI in this camera is, well, it's got facial recognition. And with one person on screen, it just focuses on one person. If there are 3 people on screen, it will widen its field of view to put 3 people. Or there are 5 people on screen, it can widen its field of view even more. So automatically, without you touching anything, the camera thinks for itself and decides how many people are sat down and widens the angle accordingly. It's got twin noise cancelling microphones which can pick up a sound from 20 feet away. So even on a larger conference table, basically, you can just put it on a tripod. Let's take a look at a tripod. Let's take a look at a typical tripod, like the one that's down in the carousel, which is this one, which is a LumeCube tripod. So you put the Nexigo on a tripod. That allows you to move the tripod about the conference table, and it will see, as I say, 1 person, 3 people, or 5 people, does it automatically. And this LumeCube stand down in the carousel is a pretty good way of actually mounting any webcam. At the moment, it's got the Oberspot, which we may meet later, but you can put your Nexigo onto that, and then you can use it to web conference cam. It is Zoom certified. It's ideal for Zoom, for WebEx, and for Google. And it just works out the box, plug and play at its simplest. It comes with software, but it also comes with a remote control, which takes 2 AAA batteries. And with remote control, you can change virtually every aspect of operation. So I can press button number 2 and I can zoom out. You're now looking at my office, come broadcasting studio, and this is the default setting. Okay, if I didn't have the remote control, I couldn't do this. I couldn't zoom in. I couldn't go over to the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. Okay, and I can zoom in. Okay, I've got 10 times optical zoom. Digital zoom, sorry. I always get those confused, Nick. Why can't I do that? Why? Yeah. Obviously, optical is better than digital. Okay. Digital is digital and enhanced. It's got, like your 4K television, it's got an on-screen menu, and we can go and I can set the brightness, contrast, and sharpness, and I can go over to black and white, and I can come back again. So I've got fine control over every aspect of the camera using the remote control. And the beauty of this is that you spend a time actually getting it exactly as you want it. So you get yourself, the lighting's right, everything's right, colors are right, brightness, contrast, everything. Everything that you change using remote control is stored in the camera itself. It's got a flash memory, which means that I can take this camera from my computer over to Nick's computer and all my settings will still be there.
Cool.
It's a truly portable camera. It's a 4K camera. It's the best quality we as consumers can get at the moment. And if you're looking for something extra, then the ability to actually zoom out and zoom back in again and take total control over what happens on screen is at your fingertips, literally. Okay, so with that, back to the quiz.
Cool. So, where are we gone to? Gosh. Which actor or actress connects these movies? One Good Cop in 1991, Batman in 1989, and Beetlejuice in 1988. Is it Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Gina Davis, or Morgan Freeman? And I certainly know that Michael Keaton was in 2 of those.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Keaton for all 3 of those.
Yeah, I'd go with that then.
Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, We're agreed on Michael Keaton. Let's go. Yeah,
Hey.
well done, team. Okay, question 3 is which actor or actress connects these movies? Lethal Weapon 87, Mrs. Safel 1984, and The Bounty 1984. And the options are Laurence Olivier, Sissy Spacek, Mel Gibson, or Diane Keaton. Okay, now I know that Mr. Gibson was in one of those. Okay. Laurence Olivier is a different era, isn't it, from the other 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whilst we're cogitating, we need to do some cogitating. Nick, what would you like to show us?
Yes, well, what we cogitate away, let's show us something else with a little bit of a discount in. And this is the TP-Link Tapo Pan and Tilt security camera. Now, this in the carousel is 17% off, $24, 85. So it's a cracking little price. Now, it is, of course, a camera. It's going to be a camera always. But this is great. This is actually, again, like the Nexigo, this is a high definition 1080 high definition camera. What I like about it is that we can have a little, that's just under here, we can have a little SD card in here, and that will then record. So we can record onto our SD card. We could also record anything onto the TP Link cloud as well. So it's motion censored. So if people go past you, it will pick up. You can set how wide and how delicate, that sensitive that setting is, which is great. It will actually rotate 360 degrees. So if I imagine if you had it up on your ceiling like that, that's what it would look like a bit. And it would rotate 360 degrees, which is pretty neat. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, because it's for security, of course. So if we're out and about, maybe it's nighttime, it can see, by the way, 30 foot in the dark in high definition. You see that little green light there? When it goes dark, that turns red. That means it's the infrared camera is working. And so we can have these set anywhere. We can come with a nice little setting plate. And so we could put them on ceilings, on posts, doors, you name it, wherever we need it, we can mount it. It's super easy to control. We just plug it in, that's it, into a power source, and you are good to go. So when I was off on holiday last year, I actually just set it up in the lounge, and because of the angle of it, it could look into 2 different rooms as well as the lounge, and it just gave us peace of mind. Even though the motion sensors hadn't gone off at all, I was able to use my phone, get my cell phone, go into the app, and just be able to just move the camera around. Everything was as it should be, which is always good. Now, apart from being able to just see what's going on and being told if someone's in or out of your house or in your property, it's also got 2-way speaker facility as well. So you can talk. So you can hear someone and you can talk. Now, this has had a weird and unexpected benefit to this camera, and that is people are using it as baby monitors. It is true, because you can see your baby, you can hear your baby. You don't have to be sitting there cooing and gazing at them all day long or all night long. You can put them to sleep, put them down, do a little burp or something, whatever you do with babies these days. Let them sleep. If they disturb, if they motion, that will set off the camera. They will, if they start to cry or make a noise, you'll be able to hear it. You'll be able to actually talk to them back as well. Maybe calm them down without even going into the room. So not only is it absolutely fantastic for security, it's also really good for if you've got young infants and you want to keep a little eye on them as well. Of course, that does not mean you can go down the pub or a bar. You have to stay at home still, but you can sit there, you can actually do something with your time, and then knowing full well that if the baby stirs, you'll be notified and you'll be able to pick them back up. And say the camera moves up and down, goes full 360 degrees. I would show you, but I can't get it to load on my. That's what I was just trying to do before we asked the question. I was trying to get it to load on the computer. But yeah, it rotates 360 degrees, can see 30 foot in the dark, is motion triggered, and you got two-way communication. All of that for $24.85. I think that's amazing. High definition, 1080 high definition camera as well. Absolutely incredible technology, all in one tiny little camera.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how they do it for the price.
Oh,
I really don't.
It is amazing. I don't know. I mean, it's just so clever, and just also really good fun to use as well. So I had it the other day, and I thought, right, let me just put it down. We've been doing a lot of gardening recently, so I wanted to show what was going on in the garden, and so I just put it down there, and yeah, just watched out for anyone to come in. It was actually next door's cat triggered it off, so it was good fun.
Our neighbour's been gardening. Now, normally this wouldn't be much of a problem, but our neighbour has been gardening next door. He's just moved in and they're bottoming the garden and sorting it all out. The unfortunate thing was he got a bit carried away, and we've got a grapevine which was doing the best it's ever done for years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and a third of it just disappeared in a few snips. So yes, it better hide for a couple of days, I think, until Angelica calms down.
Yeah.
But, back to
how to impress your new neighbours.
Oh yeah. Back to the question. Question 3. Lethal Weapon, released in 87. Mrs. Sofel, released in 84, and The Bounty in 84 too. Connection is Laurence Olivier, Sissy Spacek, Mel Gibson, or Diane Keaton. Cool.
Well, I know you said Lethal Weapon was Mel Gibson. He was in The Bounty as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. So we're going to go with the 2 out of 3 principle.
2 out of 3, yeah. Right. Fingers crossed.
Okay. So we're going to go with Mel Gibson. If you know the answer to the next question, do type it in. But this will hopefully be 3 out of 3.
Oh, we're rocking it. Rocking it today. Okay. Oh, now here's one. Which actor or actress connects these movies? Sea of Love, 1989, Scarface, 1983, and The Godfather Part 2, 1974. Is that Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert Duvall, or Gene Hackman? So that's Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert Duvall, Gene Hackman, and the 3 movies are Sea of Love, Scarface, and The Godfather Part 2. And while you're thinking about that, Stephen, what have you got for us in your carousel?
Right, okay. In the carousel now is the Oberspot Tiny 4K camera. And you're looking at one of the 3 angles, which are presets on the camera. And this is my desktop. You can see the Blue Yeti microphone down the carousel. TP-Link, which I might talk about, or Nick might talk about. Lume Cube stand, the Oberspot, and this is what an Oberspot looks like. Basically, what you have is the lens on top. You've got a 2-axis gimbal underneath, and then you have the camera body. Straight connection, USB-A, USB-C, plug and play, no problem at all. And this is the box that it comes in, and everything you can see, the cable and the camera are actually in the box. Just plug them in, and you're working straight away. The size of the camera is a thing, though, because this is less than 3 inches tall, so it doesn't take up much space. It fits nicely on the Lume Cube stand that we met earlier, and it has 3 presets. So if I go here, as we did earlier, we can look out into the garden where there's a gentle breeze. It's overcast. It's high 60s today. It's a bit muggy, which is a good old English word, which means it's hot and sticky and horrible. And then the desktop, and then we can come over to me. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you've got 3 presets. That's the first thing. And you've got zoom. It's got 4 times zoom, and I can zoom in. If I just move that out of the way, I can zoom in and out whilst I'm live and go back to the original setting. It's simple and straightforward to operate, but there is one thing which sets this camera apart from others. It's got dual noise cancelling microphones. It is on a gimbal, and it's the gimbal that makes the difference. So I'm just going to switch Nick's camera off, okay, and I'm going to take myself off solo, okay, and what we're going to do is hide the TP-Link and momentarily hide the question. So hopefully I'll find it in a minute. But I want to show you the difference between the two cameras. Now I can only do this because we're broadcasting from, just go over here. Nick and I are broadcasting from BE.live, and BE.live allows us to have multiple cameras. In fact, it allows us to have 4 cameras on screen, and I did that last week, so I know it's going to handle these 2. But there's a major difference between these 2 cameras. They're both 4K cameras. They're both capable of broadcasting to YouTube in 4K and creating local content using Camtasia in 4K. And once you create the content, you'll be ahead of everybody else because it'll be so crystal clear. In fact, if you're creating content at the moment and you appear in that content, 4K is the best that anybody can do. And you can store it on Vimeo, embed it in your blog post, and wow people with the quality of your video. But you can also wow people. If I go over here, this is the difference between these 2 cameras. Similar lenses, 4K, but if I tap this button, what's going to happen now is that the OBSBot 4K, as we said, is on a 2-axis gimbal, and it can track me. It's got facial recognition. So it's tracking me as I move around the office. Okay, you notice how smooth the transition is. The other camera, which is a beautiful Nexigo we spoke about a moment ago, hasn't got a clue where I am. It just doesn't know. It's not designed to do what the OBSBot can do, because the OBSBot is on a gimbal and it's got facial recognition and it can actually track you. So if you want a camera which is more than most cameras can do, I mean, the Nexigo can only dream of doing this. Yeah, I'll show you later the closest it can get. But with the twin noise cancelling microphones, with the ability to zoom in and zoom out, to have 3 presets, this is a camera which is so much fun and so versatile. It is a PTZ camera, pan, tilt, and zoom. And for this price today, it's an excellent price. I can but recommend it. I love OBSBot cameras. I've got 2 of them, and I got the original 1080, which is also down the carousel, at a lower price than this, but this is the 4K camera, and it simply tracks you as you move about. And I'm not doing anything. My hands are here, okay? And Nick Wood's ready to share something, it says. So I'll best come and sit down. So I'm going to go back to the desktop, and I'm going to sit down. Okay, now as soon as I sit down, the Nexigo knows where I am, and so does the Brio, but the Brio never, sorry, the OBSBot never lost me. Okay, so that's the difference. That's the OBSBot difference. Tiny 4K, 11% off today, $239 as opposed to $269. Between now and Prime Day, July 11th, July 12th, Nick and I will get special prices. When we do, we will let you know. But if you're looking for an external camera that has that something extra, then the OBSBot is definitely a candidate. Click the link in the carousel to find out more. You can read the text reviews, you can watch the video reviews, then come back here. We're live for another 60 minutes or so, and you can ask questions, because that's the thing about this Amazon Live video. It's free to you. There's no charge. Come and watch us. There's no charge if you click a link in the carousel. In fact, if you click a link in the carousel, you're not buying anything. Yeah, you're just expressing an interest. So with that, it's back to the question.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen, if I put you off there. I was I was busy prepping, and so I pressed the button. So back to the question in here: which actor or actress connects these movies? The Sea of Love, 1989, Scarface, 1983, and The Godfather Part 2, 1974. Is it Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert Duvall, or Gene Hackman? And a bit like the others, Stephen, I'm guessing there's one actor there that's definitely in 2 of those that I know.
So we're going with Al Pacino
Al
then?
Pacino, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, question 5. Which actor or actress connects these movies? Out of Africa, released in 85, Plenty, released in 85, and Falling in Love, released in 84. The actor or actress must have been very busy in those years to have
That's what I was
3
thinking.
I don't think they do it that way these days, do they? There's usually eons between one film and the next. Your options are Meryl Streep, Ian McKellen, Robert De Niro, or Orson Welles. Yeah, I mean, I don't know on that one, Nick, help. Over to
Yeah,
you.
that's a tricky one. It's a bit of a head scratcher for sure. Now, hopefully, I'm going to try and do something now because I want to share with you in the carousel. We've got the Logitech Litraglow light. We haven't talked about this one for a while, and it's a great Logitech piece of kit, and it's an amazing light. Now, for gamers, the thing about this light is you can have it on and you can stream your gaming all day long. The light isn't going to hurt you. It's been certified. It is fantastic. But one of the things that we can do is we can use their software to switch it on. So we can either switch it on. I've got it up here. I'll show you it first. So we can either switch it on from the back, like that, and we can control equally with buttons. We can control the brightness and the different color of it. It goes up and down. I really like, I have to say, this little bit element here because that keeps this cord nice and tidy as well. As you can see, it just hangs on top of the monitor. Really good, and we can rotate it as well, so we can put the angle that we require. Super easy to set up. You've just got a little cable in there, USB input, and you're going to be good to go. So I'm going to pop that back up there. And this is where I was putting Stephen off by getting ready to share something a little bit prematurely. So hopefully, Steve, this will work. I'm going to share the software that comes with it. And this is what Logitech just do amazing things with.
Just making some adjustments. I'll be with you in now.
Hey.
There you go. Oh no, wrong camera. Just a minute. Hang on. No, we've got. Hang on. I need switch that camera back on and switch that.
That's
camera
okay because you can see me in the camera.
Now you're good.
Oh, perfect. Here we go. So yeah, so this is the software that it comes with. So as you can see, we can actually switch it on and off just by using the software, just with a click of a button. Super simple. Now we've got these presets. Now I have to say, you can play around with them to your heart's content. We've got control of the cool and warmth and the dimness and the brightness. But we've got these presets as well. So we can just say bright, cool. It's like, whoa. Got cozy daylight. That's the one I quite like. We've got mild afternoon. So all these things, as you can see, they're just adjusting the temperature and the brightness as we go through. And so depending on your mood and what you want to do, cozy candlelight is quite nice. Then you can just play around with the tones and the warmth. I mean, that's, what's that one called? Bright, warm candlelight. I would say that is nuclear explosion, personally. But that's full warmth, full brightness. That was just shining a light at me on orange. Now here is really cool because we've got multiple cameras set up. So here I've got the cameras in. All these are in the carousel. So we'll come to the Antube camera later on. But we've also got the Nexigo we used earlier, and we've got the Neuron V11 as well. So I can choose which camera it is that I want to play around with the lighting in. So I can put the Nexigo in. I can put the Neuron in. And so all these things, all the cameras are going to react slightly differently to the light. So you want to set up your lighting for whichever camera you're using. And so I thought that was a brilliant idea. And so, yeah, it's absolutely incredible. So you've got your desktop default, where you can manage your profiles. And it is just the most lovely little light that you can have. And Logitech do this so often. We're going to be talking a little bit later about the Blue Yeti. And again, with this amazing software, then we can actually change what we're doing with our microphones as well. But yeah, the Lightroglow is just a fantastic little light. Take it around with you, portable. But again, you've got this software. And we always say something comes with software, download it because it's there for a reason. And you want to fill your boots with this one. As I say, gamers, if you're gaming, you can just game to your heart's content for hours and hours and hours at a time because the light isn't going to be harmful to your eyes. And that's one of the parts that if you go into the page, you can see on the different questions, the Q&As, that it's one of the questions is is it safe to use for long periods of time? And yeah, it's been certified by, I can't think what it is off the top of my head. It's been certified by a certain body to say, yeah, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, a really lovely piece of kit. It's actually 17% off today. So again, under $50, $49.99. It's amazing how many of these great deals are at the moment when you're watching us live streaming. It is absolutely fantastic. So do go check that out. And again, Logitech are a world-renowned company, and they just basically they go buy up things and they just make them even better. I think on Lightroglow, I think that was one of their own personal ones, I think. But yeah, it's a really cracking little light. I know Stephen's got one as well. It was Stephen that persuaded me to buy one. That's the trouble when you live stream together.
That's true. That's true. That's why I've got the Blue Yeti. Okay.
That's fantastic. So I can take that.
Right. Let's try and get everybody back on screen. So we need the quiz back on screen. So let's switch the quiz on. Okay, so we've got the quiz. I need me back on screen. So that's me back on screen. And we've got the quiz. So I'll reread the question. And the question is, which actor or actress connects these movies? Out of Africa, Plenty, both released in 1985. Falling in Love, released in 1984. Thank you for watching Amazon Live. The options are Meryl Streep, Ian McKellen, Robert De Niro, or Orson Welles. Now, I know we've got a difference on this one, Nick, because I know one of the actors or actresses was actually in Out of Africa. And that's the only clue I've got.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's an actress as well, because I think she was also in Falling in Love.
Okay, so let's go with Meryl Streep. Now, there's no pressure at all. We're scoring 5 out of 5. And we're on to question 6.
We do. Oh, no pressure at all on this one. This one, I think we both know. Which actor or actress connects these movies? Fatal Attraction. Oh, my goodness, that was scary. Jewel of the Nile and Romancing the Stone. Was that Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito, Kathleen Turner, or Jane Fonda? Yes. Fatal Attraction, Jewel of the Nile, and Romancing the Stone. Interesting. Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito, Kathleen Turner, and Jane Fonda. Some of my favourites in there, I have to say. But while we're thinking about that, if you do know, please do drop it in the comments. But Stephen's got something special.
I have. I want to say thank you to the person who's actually clicked something in the carousel. It's always good when you do, because that gives us a chance. Because as we're talking, you can surf the carousel and you can find the items you like. If you click them, it takes you to the Amazon.com page for that item. So far, so good. You're not buying it because it's the normal buying procedures. You'll get more information. But more importantly, if you click an item in your carousel, we can see it on the Amazon app on our iPhones and iPads. And that means that the next item I'm going to show you wasn't on the list to begin with. And apologies to Nick, because you wouldn't really have this on your list, but it is on mine. And it's 17% off today. It's $37.99 as opposed to $45.99. And can you guess what it is yet? Okay. Now, you'll see behind me that I've got a green screen. But in addition to green screens, from time to time, he said, I actually use these. Okay, and this folded up is a backdrop. That's not the side you use. You actually use, just a minute, we'll get there. this side of the backdrop, so you can see a wall there. Now, basically, in order to use a backdrop, you actually need a stand.
Oh, we do. We do need a stand. But where's Stephen gone? I'm sure Stephen will be back with us very, very soon. There's obviously some little technical glitch that's been going on, but I'm sure he's probably just refreshing, and the feed will soon be back on and up and running. I think that was the eMart T-shaped portable stand that Stephen was about to tell us all about. 17% discount, $37.99. Yeah, that's brilliant. In fact, I've got one. You can't see me, but I've got my green cloth is hanging on the very same. So it's always good to have these stands. And again, when you're videoing and you're doing these little live streams, we want to try and have a background. My green cloth isn't very exciting, but when I'm recording, that means I've just got a green screen behind me. That allows me to use what we call chroma keying, and then I can just take out that color and put in a background of my choice. Now, a lot of times these days, that is very, very, you've got all this software that does it automatically for you. But in reality, if you really want a really good result, then you want to have a green screen, because nothing will do that better. You've got control over the colors you're taking out, and it is fantastic. Doesn't have to be green, can actually be any color you like, to be honest, but typically it's normally a green or a blue, and typically because green isn't such a used color when we're talking when we've got clothing, because of course when you've got a green screen, you don't want to be wearing the same color as your screen, because then that you suddenly vanish, disappear. In fact, I used to have a very good friend whose name has just jumped right out of my head. Oh gosh, I can picture him. Lovely guy. He lived in Sweden, and he and his brother, they used to do green screening a lot, and he used to have the invisible butler. So his brother would dress all in green, and then he would be invisible, and they made some hysterically funny little video montages, which were just priceless to watch. A real comic genius that was, and his name will come back to me at some stage, I'm sure. As will, I'm hoping, the live streaming legend that is Stephen. Now I wonder, will he be back? Let me see. I can see him in Messenger. I wonder, are you able to rejoin? Yeah, this is the thing. This is what happens when we just go live streaming. No one knows what the live streaming gods have got in store for us. I think it's probably going to be wise to end the stream in Amazon, because I'm not sure how long that will last. Let me just jump over to Amazon and see what the score is there. Yeah, we just got a a little bit of an issue going on. We've only got the sound. Stephen's not there, so I'm going to end my stream. So yeah, I've ended mine.
Nick, are we still live?
Hello, hello.
Are we still live?
No. Well, not on Amazon.
No, right. Okay, let's stop the broadcast.